Hey everybody, it's Monday, September 16th. I'm the Prez. Great show today. Rob Veno from sportsmemo.com will be joining us. Same with Carmine, Bianco from WagerTalk.com. I'm the Prez, Lawrence Presman, co-founder of WagerTalk Media, owner of WagerTalk.com, sportsmemo.com, and the Gold Sheet. Let's bring our guests in and get this show on the road. What we're going to do today, we're going to talk Monday Night Football, and then we're going to go over the opening lines in the NFL for Week 3. Rob Veno, my friend, how are you?
I'm good today, Prez. How about yourself?
I'm going to answer that question after I ask Carmine how he is.
Okay.
Oh, dear God. I'm doing pretty good. It was NFL weekend, but terrible on the year. A great soccer weekend. Prez, take it away.
Yeah, so bottom line for me, guys, and this is really, really important, is, I've had an absolute disaster start to the NFL season. I went 0-4 yesterday. I had Tennessee. I had Minnesota. I had Cincinnati, which was clearly the wrong side, and I had Pittsburgh. I had a lot of tough breaks. I was like 3-9 in turnovers. Bunch of missed field goals against me, but whatever the case may be, that's all just an excuse. From my perspective, my dog is playing around on the green screen. But from my perspective, and this is really important, okay, I don't care if I go 0-4 from my personal bets. I bet somewhere around 3% of my bankroll on every single play. But man, when you guys buy my information and I lose for you, I take it so badly. I mean, I was literally despondent for half the night. And the thing is, this happens. I mean, Rob Veno, you've been doing this for 20 years or so. Like this is going to happen again. I mean, I'm literally, and I'm not, there's no sugarcoating. I am 2-10 to start the NFL season. Nothing at all is going right. But I did tell everybody at the beginning of the season that I'm a streaky handicapper, and I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to fight back and make profit for all my customers. But man, like, Jesus, 2-10. Oh, I'm embarrassed, Rob.
Yeah, I think to a man, we all feel that way, Prez. Those of us who run analysis service, selection services, we probably feel worse for the clients than we do for ourselves. I mean, we have a lot of options come Sunday, Prez. We recommend games. They're out there early. But come game day, we can bet halftime. We can go in-game. We can do a lot for ourselves to help ourselves. You feel a lot worse for the clients when it doesn't go well. I've been at this for 27 years now, since 1992. But I learned after a lot of nights of beating myself up that you really have to be or have the mentality. I've always used this analogy of an NFL corner who's one-on-one and gets beat deep. Forget about it and we don't forget what key numbers are. To 300 clients forget. They sign up for a week. They have a bad week. This guy sucks. That guy sucks. But it's a long haul, and you have to have a lot of durability and a lot of mental toughness to stay in there. So I'm sure you'll turn it around. 2-10s go away, become 10-2s real quick.
Yeah, and I've only had 2 losing NFL seasons in about 25 years of betting. I'm confident, but I can't cope with losing for our clients. With all that said, everybody else had an unbelievable weekend. I mean, all our 5-unit plays won. Marco is absolutely rolling right now. VR won big on Saturday and then again on Sunday. Bobby Liggs went perfect across the board on Sunday. So, I mean, the gang is doing great. I'm just not seeing it right now, but that's obviously going to change. Carm, you're the guy that has to get the brunt of my text messages when I am... Why don't you tell the customers what the Prez goes through on a losing Sunday?
Let me tell you, Sunday I was pretty much offline. dealing with some family stuff and helping out. But during the day, I decided to go out with one of Canada's biggest sports bars up in
The
Vaughan,
regular
Ontario.
guys, what are you? Some
Regular,
superstar
yeah.
hero? You met
Well,
the
no,
plebes? Wait to
my
meet the
regular
plebes,
friends.
Carm.
My regular friends. Anyways, we're watching the one thing about a friend of mine. I let him know the games I have action on, and I get them on the big, 3 or 4 huge screens in front of us, so I don't have to keep doing the little head bob, head turn. Anyways, my phone is absolutely blowing up with messages from, I'd say, the 5-minute mark of the first quarter from the
Yep.
Prez of, I can't believe there's a flag there. Oh my God, a missed field goal. Oh my God, touchdown called back. I'm getting creamed. And this is the first quarter. I considered putting my phone on silent, so like muting him so I don't get any of his messages. But I know that when the Prez goes through these little spurts, and listen, going back to what Rob mentioned, you're going to go through, every capper goes through this. It's just, and I think clients under heat of the moment, they're going to be mad. If as a capper, if you hit 55, 56%, which is phenomenal throughout the year, to get the number at the end of the year, you're going to go through spurts where you go 1 in 10, and then you have a 10 in 1. Everyone remembers the 10 in 1. They forget the other
way around,
10 and
Carm,
1s.
we get
It
it.
remembers, in 10s. It's the same as in anything. Sports transcends other games. Poker, everybody remembers losing with aces, but never remembers cracking aces. It's just the way it is.
Except when you pick up a woman at a
sports.
bar. I don't think I've ever called you and been like, Carm, man, she had hair on her arms. No. I'm calling you with the positive info. You should have seen her shapes. Anyway, boys.
Listen, I have to believe, I don't mind taking the brunt of those messages because last year was actually a little bit better. I didn't get a lot of those messages. Okay, yes, Prez had a very good NFL last season, but he also had this new woman in his life, and she takes the brunt of of his anger. So, Vivian, if you're out there, God love you. My phone messages were few and far between.
Nobody gets more upset for losing to his clients than me. Guys, let's talk about the game tonight. Look, I'm passing, period, flat out. I got no opinion here. I would have preferred if Darnold started, and then I liked Cleveland at -2.5. Now they're -6.5 with an over and under of 45. I mean, I literally have no opinion here. If a gun was held to my head, Rob Veno, I would bet under the total of 45. But given that it's a Monday night football game and such crazy stuff happens in prime time, this is just an outright pass for me. I'm going to watch the game on my small TV and continue to watch The Spy on Netflix. Rob Veno, what are you doing in tonight's game?
I did the same. I passed it, Prez. I couldn't find an edge either way, side nor total. It might have liked over a little bit at the 44.5 number because 45 is a key, and knowing that the Jets have the utmost confidence in Trevor Siemian. But I'm a firm believer. When I handicap games, a lot of head coaches' shoes and the coaching staff's shoes and what they're trying to accomplish here. And coaches always try to fix what went wrong last. And what went wrong for Cleveland last week was the defense. Tennessee ran roughshod over them. The defensive personnel is too good to put up results like that. So I think Cleveland probably fixes the defense. That kind of got me off the over. Jets defensive injuries. Well, CJ may be able to score some points here. But like you mentioned, the spread's a little bit out of my reach now. Cleveland -7 just because of Darnold. And like I said earlier, the Jets coaching staff said that there's some things Trevor Siemian can do as a former starter that maybe Sam Darnold can't. He can see the field better. They expect good things out of him. So it's one for me to watch and not to play.
Carmine, Bianco with the 600 shirts in the background and one on. What do you like?
I'm wearing the Bills jersey, 2-0. I'm a Bills fan. But listen, the same thing with Siemian. I'm being kind of a contrarian here. I haven't put a play up. I'm not putting a play up, but the number is just high enough now that I don't mind taking 7 here with Siemian. I think head coach Goss puts him in a position where he's not going to ask him to do something he's not used to doing. I'd like to make fun of the fact that he does have a Super Bowl ring, although he was inactive in Super Bowl 50 when the Broncos beat the Panthers 24-10. But listen, he can go out there if they can put that short passing game together, clock, keep the Browns offense off. You keep this a lower scoring game, and if you can keep it a low scoring game, you always have a chance in that fourth quarter. And maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe it's keep it close enough that we can get it to the fourth and eke one out. We saw it yesterday with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what I mean? And they've got a second or third string quarterback in there right now, and they almost pulled it off. So who knows? I'm willing to take the +7 here.
He's Carmine Bianco from WagerTalk.com, Rob Veno from SportsMemo.com. I'm the Prez. Guys, we're going to take a super quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to look at the opening lines for week 3. Hey, everybody, really quickly, Bobby Liggs. I told you guys at the beginning of the season that nobody does better than Bobby Liggs in NFL. Last year, his numbers were ridiculous. I think he was 48-27 on the entire season, well into the 60% range. He's done this year after year. He's also an ex-professional bookmaker with an incredibly storied background. He is the guy to play in NFL, and he went 3-0 yesterday. You could have his entire season, NFL season and playoffs for $450. Just head over to WagerTalk.com and use the promo code Bobby450. That's Bobby450. Rob Veno, before we get into the opening lines, let's talk about the new show that we've got coming next Monday. It will be ready for next Monday, right?
It should be. Everything seems to check out right now, Prez. I'm pretty sure we'll be on with it next Monday.
So, guys, basically, this is how the show's going to work. Rob Veno, myself, and Joe Ranieri from SportsMemo.com are going to do a show once a week. We're going to do it every single Monday. The show is called Pros vs. Joe's Primetime Edition. And what is going to happen is the three of us are going to take apart and come up with a consensus pick on the 5 main primetime games of that week, excluding Thursday night. So we are going to pick the Friday night college football game. We're going to pick the 3:30 ESPN or ABC game in college football, the 7:30, 8 o'clock CBS, ABC, or ESPN college football game, the Sunday night NFL game, and the Monday night NFL game. That's 5 picks. We're also going to have contest software over at WagerTalk.com that'll allow you guys to enter your 5 thoughts on those exact games. For entering, you will receive $10 in wager bucks. If you tie us, you will receive $25 in wager bucks. If you beat us, you will get $50 in wager bucks. And if you sweep a perfect 5-0, you will get $100 of wager bucks. Rob, do you have anything to add to that?
I think it'll be a fun show, Prez. The audience participation in it makes it that much more fun. It puts a little bit of pressure on us to come up with better selections than what the listeners are going to come up with. But in their case, they'll be out to get us. We'll have the so-called bullseye on our chest. So it'll be fun. I think it'll create a lot of excitement for Sunday football on a Monday, right off of the results of Sunday, which is usually, a time when people have the last thing I saw opinion in their head.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, that's why I don't give out a lot on Monday, because you want to get through that thought process. But I think it'll be a lot of fun for sure.
Okay, boys, let's get into week 1 opening line. And, I want to talk really quick on each game. I mean, literally 1 minute, half a minute. If you think a line is going to move, let us know. And, if you've got a quick initial opinion, Denver, Green Bay came out at -7. It's now -8. I think Green Bay is going to put up some points, and Denver is going to struggle to score. The Green Bay defense looks good. I'm leaning right now to the -8 with Green Bay. Rob?
Yeah, I'd agree, Prez. The power ratings I have made Green Bay 10. I think that's the way that the public will think. You saw Green Bay off a good performances against divisional rivals. Denver, obviously, no question mark you would have with Green Bay is it a letdown spot because the Bears and the Vikings, their two most hated rivals. Could be a good time for Denver to catch them, although it's on the road.
Carm, I'll go straight to you on the next game because I want to keep this moving. Detroit and Philadelphia. Philly at -7 with a 48 on the board. Detroit undefeated so far this year. A miracle win yesterday. Another Phillip Rivers disaster interception. Philly just didn't look in sync yesterday, but I think we're going to get a good Philadelphia next week. -7, 48. My lean right now to the over. What do you like?
Yeah, I was originally looking at the under
it was
here.
49 and a half.
49 and a half, and it's at 48. Listen, I haven't seen anything yet, but the status of Wentz, I know he came out for a couple series, whether that has to do with any type of an injury. Obviously, they're not going to tell you it until sort of midweek, and we see who's taking the snaps in practice. But seven looks like a good number here for Philadelphia. I'm not convinced that this Detroit team, whether they can stay within the number or not, remains.
Hey, they haven't lost yet this year, my friend. I think if you guys are going to play, we've seen a 49 and a half drop to 48. 49 is actually an important number. I don't think that line's going to drop anymore. So if you're going to play the over, I'd actually get down on the Detroit Philly over as soon as you hear about the Carson Wentz situation. Rob, the next game, some big line moves. Baltimore and Kansas City. It came out with a consensus opening line of 51 and a half and a 5 for Kansas City. Now Kansas City is -6.5 with an over and under of 55. And the bottom line to me is with it being at 6.5, if you're going to bet Kansas City, I would bet it now and not take a chance that it goes to 7, but I don't think it will go to 7. As far as the over and under goes, if you're going to bet the over, I would wait. We've had a 3.5 point line move from 51.5 to 55. I think we're going to see a dip in that line move. So I would wait if you're going to bet the over. My initial thought right off the bat is I lean on the under in this game, even with these vaunted offenses, especially with Kansas City. But I think you're going to get Baltimore playing slow ball all game long. Quick, Rob?
Yeah, Prez, for the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously the explosiveness is something Baltimore hasn't seen all season long. They catch a couple breaks. They catch Miami and they catch Arizona with no cornerbacks. Backup cornerbacks on each side look pretty good. Kicked a lot of field goals, though, yesterday instead of scoring touchdowns, which could be important. KC scoreless. They and the Raiders put up their first ever series yesterday. Unbelievable. But I think I would lean towards Kansas City. Took a Kansas City miracle late that led to a game-winning score for them. So,
Carm, you get to talk about your favorite team, Buffalo. Line moves deluxe. Cincinnati and Buffalo. Buffalo came out at -4. They're -6. The over and under is 40.5, and it's been moved up to 43.5. Cincinnati, tale of two teams, looked amazing. First week completely fell apart. Second week, the bottom line for me, guys, is 44 is a key number in totals. I'm leaning on the over right now. I actually think it could be a play, even with Buffalo's big-time defense. If you're going to bet the over, bet it immediately. Carm?
Yeah, the Bengals have a much better offense, and it's supposed to be a new offense. A much better offense than what you saw the Jets and what you saw from the Giants. I'm worried about the letdown here for Buffalo. Coming off 2 road wins, and against teams that defense as we discussed, you would think sort of the square or whatever it's rocking, and the Bills come out. And listen, Josh Allen's looked good. He 9 receivers yesterday, passes to 8 of them. You've Devin Singletary on in the rushing game, and Cincinnati picked apart yesterday by the 49ers. In the rushing game, I think they put up well over 200 yards rushing. So you would think the Bills just run it down the Bengals' throats. 6 points seems like a lot. I do like the total, though. I think the Bengals are going to get their points. I think the Bills will put up points. And, this could, at the end of the day, this could be one of those four type. And if you take the Bills, not so much.
Before we get into the next game, Atlanta, and that's why I'm sighing. I'll tell you why in a sec. I just want to let everybody know I've got sound technicians coming to my house tonight. Tonight. I am getting the sound fixed on this show no matter what. Rob, you don't know my vaunted past with Atlanta, but every time I play on them, they lose. And then the next week, I swear I'll never play on them again. And then they go out and beat Philadelphia. Now they find themselves at +3 against Indianapolis. The line moved slightly towards Indianapolis, so there's money coming in on Indianapolis. The over and under at 48, down to 47.5. My bottom line here is if you can get a 3 on Atlanta, get it right now. It's too important a number to mess around with. I would not screw around here. There's big money coming in on Indy already, but 77% of the tickets are being written on the Falcons. Rob, talk to me.
Yeah, my power rating's made it 3, so it's right in line. I can't get involved at 3, but at 2.5, I probably could have gotten involved with Indianapolis, Prez. I think what we find here is, if I go back to Minnesota or Atlanta's first game of the year on the road, indoors at Minnesota, get destroyed. I think the biggest problem there was Minnesota blitzed consistently. Indianapolis has 8 sacks on the season already against the Chargers and Tennessee, so they're going to bring pressure. Just don't like Matt Ryan in that offense. They won that game last night, Prez, but they didn't look very good offensively at all. Don't like them on the road here. Think Indianapolis with Brissett has shown their defensive side. So I would have laid 2.5. But I think under the number here has to be a strong consideration. Atlanta's played 2 unders right off the bat and just don't look right offensively.
I agree 100% with under the number. Great call, 47.5. I would get on that under immediately. I think it's going to continue to drop. Carm, Oakland is +8 going into Minnesota. Total came out at 43. It's been bet down to 42. I think it's going to keep going down. I think there's going to be a lot of money coming in on the under. We have seen the side move from 7 to 8, which is a humongous line move. With that said, if you're going to bet Minnesota, bet it right this minute. And I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota, look, they dominated that football game yesterday, 3 of 4 quarters. I just happened to be on Minnesota. So as a result, Kirk Cousins got a text 3 minutes left in the game. It was like, Prez is on Minnesota. He's like, okay, I'll throw an interception. No problem. I got it. So anyway, Minnesota is the play for me, Carm. Were you the guy that texted Kirk Cousins, by the way?
I was not. I was on Minnesota, pretty happy there, and I'm on the under again here. I know it's at 42. There's still some 42.5s out there. This Minnesota defense, through the first 2 weeks of the season, has looked. I think they're playing really well. I don't really see Oakland putting up points here. It's really weird because a few of these spreads right now, you look at, they're just at the right number where I think a lot of teaser bettors, and guys love teasers. These are the type of games where Minnesota's 8. You look at Philadelphia as a 7, Green Bay as a 7.5. These are teased down a lot. And then you always wonder about books sort of moving on air. Pinnacle sometimes will adjust their lines according to not getting
great points.
Hurt by teasers. It's one of those things, and this looks like one of those where people say, oh, wow, this is going to be a great weekend for teasers. And I'm not advocating teasers. I'm just saying that the way the lines are with the teams at home, laying just around a touchdown, a little bit more, where you're knocking 6.5 points off, and you've got them at -1, -1.5 now. You're just going to see a lot of teasers, I think, this weekend, or people talking about.
Okay, guys, quick commercial break. We're right back, and we're going to race through the remaining games. Hey, everybody, really quick, great promo for you guys today. WagerBucks. What WagerBucks are is they're the currency that we use over at WagerTalk.com. You basically can use them to buy any type of package, any daily package you want, and you save a ton of money. We offer, for $500, you can get $1,000 in WagerBucks. For $100, you can get $200 in WagerBucks, that type of thing. If you head over to WagerTalk.com and you buy one of our WagerBucks packages, just email Missy. That's Missy at WagerTalk.com. Mention the Prez. She's going to give you an extra 25% on your money. So if you plan on buying plays from WagerTalk or Sports Memo, this is an absolute must take advantage of offer. Okay, boys, we're gonna skip the New England New York Jets game, as that line will be different tomorrow. What I do want to talk about, Rob, is this Miami Dallas game, and it came out at 17. It's been pushed up to 21 with a couple of 21 and a halves. The over and under is 47 and a half. Bottom line for me is I like the under in this game, but man, I think Miami might be a play here. Dallas has played the New York Giants and Washington to date. They haven't covered 21 against either of those teams, that's for sure. And they really haven't played a team of any substance yet. I know Miami is tanking. I think they could lose every game this year. Dallas will likely be my survivor pick. But if I'm going to get 21 and a half, I'm going to take it right now. And guys, if you plan on betting Miami, do it the second. Rob?
Yeah, I'd have to agree, Prez. If you just look at yesterday's game, yes, New England wins 43 themselves. 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns came on interception returns. Yeah. That's 14. And then uncharacteristically or characteristically, you never with Bill Belichick, but he's throwing touchdown passes with less than 3 minutes left. So
I love
there's 21 points right there. You're talking about a 23-0 game without any of that, and that's pretty close to the number. I know Dallas, or the number this week of 21.5. We know Dallas's offense has been very balanced, very solid. But still, if Miami puts up a couple of scores here, the Dallas defense has not been rock solid so far this year. So
yeah,
team, but 21 plus a hook is
important. Carm, Tampa Bay, outstanding win on Thursday night. They came out at -5 at 6.5 on the board. I think it's going to keep climbing. If you plan on betting Tampa Bay, people do it immediately. The over and under came out at 49. It's down to 48. I think that's going to keep dropping. If you plan on betting the under, do it immediately. That's where I'm looking right now. I have to study tonight, but I'm liking the under in that game. Carmine?
No, I 6.5, 7.
So do
I'm
I.
not really sure. I'm not really sure on the total. It would be Tampa for me. I just like the way they're home. The Giants defense is they're just as Rob mentioned, they're banged up. They're not playing really well. Like, listen, Josh Allen in a season and a bit had only thrown, I think, once for 250 yards or more, and he put up like 253 yesterday. And this is because the rushing game was working. He could have put up 300 for the first time in his career. It's one of those things where the Giants are going to stick with Eli Manning. They're ready to put in Daniel Jones just yet. It's one of those things where the Giants really could they could try and Daniel we see Daniel Jones in there, but right now it's Eli or nothing for that team, and I just can't take them at getting less than a touchdown. So it's Tampa for me.
Carolina versus Arizona, Rob Veno. Carolina finds themselves at -3. It's been bet down. They actually came out at 3.5, and there's already 2.5s on the board. The over and under has been bet up 43.5, bet up to 46.5, and I don't see it. I don't understand why it was bet up. Carolina's offense is completely out of sync. Arizona's offense only shows up in the fourth quarter. I think this is going to drop. I think this was a fake line move. I think we're going to see money coming in on the under. I like the under, and I'd bet it right the hell now. Rob?
Yeah, I was kind of proactive with Arizona week one, contrarian play, but I did have them over with the Detroit Lions, just knowing that they were going to run the hurry up,
Yep.
high tempo offense. Like you say, it didn't show up till the fourth quarter, didn't show up again yesterday till the urgency set in. A lot of field goals kicked in yesterday's game, 3 by Arizona, 3 by over spot. But I'm against Carolina here, Prez. I can't play them. Cam Newton doesn't look right. That receiving core is below average at best. And if not for Christian McCaffrey, who you can key on, they would have no offense whatsoever.
Yeah.
So Arizona at home, to me, would be a play here as a home underdog.
Carm and Rob, we're going to skip the New Orleans-Seattle game. We'll go straight to Houston and the Chargers. The Chargers just are falling apart. I mean, they should have lost week one. They did lose week two. Now they find themselves -3, even 3.5 against a Houston team that was anemic offensively yesterday. The over and under was 49. It was bet down to 47.5. I'm leaning on the over right off the bat, and I actually like Houston. And I think if you want to bet the over, I feel like you can wait. But if you want to bet Houston, I would bet it right this second. I think it's going to drop down to 2.5. Carm.
Yeah, you're better off, as you said, taking the 3.5. I would actually wait as much as the Chargers look like a train wreck right now. Phillip Rivers is a streaky quarterback. We've seen it. That week one pick in the end zone that probably would have put him up like 15. He has that, for lack of a better word, he has that occasional brain fart where he just does something you don't expect from a quarterback. If this does dip down to 2.5, I'll take the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers at 2.5 for 3 here.
Rob Veno will skip Pittsburgh and San Francisco. LA Rams and Cleveland. Rams, well, look, this line's going to change too. I think we're going to have to wait to discuss this game. So let's jump straight to the final game. Chicago -4. Now it's at 4.5 against Washington. It was 42.5, now down to 41.5. And this under is going to keep plummeting. I mean, Chicago is an absolute mess. Trubisky couldn't make the Canadian Football League. And Washington, they can't score much either. I think this game is going to go under, but I've lost value already, and we're going to keep losing value. As far as the side goes, I think people are going to bet Chicago. I think they're ultimately going to be wrong. Rob?
Yeah, I would agree just off of strength of schedule, Prez. Washington starts the season by rivals with maybe two of the best offenses in the NFL. Philly totally healthy yesterday, and now they're going to play a stagnant Bears offense. So their defense should be ready for this. You know, they're the king the first 2 weeks of a last minute fourth quarter drive, helping change the results as far as ticket cashing is concerned. Against Philly, they go the length of the field to steal a point spread cover. Yesterday, they go the length of the field to send over bettors to the window, cashing their tickets. So they don't give up. I think in this case, you're getting more than the field goal. It's certainly got to be worth the play at home.
Rob and Carmine, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to take this show home. Everybody, thanks so much. Make sure to comment at our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. Check me out on Twitter at Prez WagerTalk. We got a big week of shows ahead of us. Tomorrow's the college football betting show with Dave Koken and Teddy and myself. Also, Morning Joe will be back to its regular format tomorrow. 1 college football game, 2 baseball games, and 2 NFL games for this upcoming week. Don't forget our promos. If you go over to WagerTalk.com and you buy Wager Bucks, email Missy at WagerTalk.com. Mention my name, The Prez, and she'll add 25% more to your account. As well, Bobby Liggs' entire NFL season and playoffs, $450. Use the promo code Bobby450. If the sound wasn't right on this video, my sincere and humble apologies. I've got techies coming over tonight. We will not sleep until this is perfect. This show is super important to me. Same with every other show. A big thanks to Rob Veno and Carmine for joining me, and for all of you guys for watching and commenting. Prez, Namaste is out.